how to turn your normal daily routine into your ultimate practice time. All it takes is 5 minutes a day to unlock fast, automatic communication. Here we go.
Hey Liam, I was wondering, how can I finally start thinking in English naturally?
The biggest change happens when you stop treating English like a school subject and start using it like a real language in small daily moments.
What do you mean by daily moments?
I mean, small situations during your normal day where you react in English automatically.
How can someone train the brain to react faster?
One of the best exercises is something I call micro-reactions during the day.
What are micro-reactions exactly?
They're very short and immediate thoughts in English, connected to real situations around you.
Can you give me examples?
Of course. You can say things like, "I'm tired," "Where's my phone?" "I need coffee," or "That looks good."
Wow, those sentences are super simple.
Sure, because the goal is not advanced English, but automatic reaction.
So the simplicity is actually important.
Very important, because fluency grows from fast repetition of useful language.
Interesting. I think many learners believe fluency means using difficult words.
That is one of the biggest mistakes, because natural English is usually simple, direct, and fast.
Right. And sometimes I spend too much time trying to sound smart.
And that creates hesitation, because your brain becomes afraid of making mistakes.
So, should learners stop focusing so much on perfect grammar?
They should focus more on communication first and polish grammar gradually through exposure and repetition.
And how often should someone practice this?
Every single day, because frequency matters much more than intensity.
Really?
Yes, 5 minutes daily is usually more effective than studying for 3 hours once a week.
Wow. That makes learning feel much more realistic.
That's because consistency builds automatic thinking, little by little.
What happens inside the brain during this process?
Your brain starts creating direct associations between situations and English expressions.
Interesting. And is that why children learn languages faster sometimes?
Yes, because children react directly instead of analyzing grammar rules all day.
Wow. Adults really overthink language learning, right?
Absolutely. Adults often try to understand everything before using the language.
And that slows everything down.
Because language is a skill, not just information.
So, learners need more action and less analysis?
Precisely. Your brain needs active use to transform English into something natural.
Nice. And what should someone do if they forget words constantly?
Most people forget vocabulary because they study isolated words, without emotional or situational connection.
Wow. I used to memorize vocabulary lists.
And probably forgot many of them quickly, right?
Yes, for sure.
The brain remembers language much better through repeated daily usage inside real contexts.
And what's a good exercise for me to practice?
Repeating your daily routine in English is extremely powerful.
What does that look like in practice?
You simply describe your normal activities using simple English every day.
Can you give me examples again?
You can say, "I'm making breakfast," "I need to answer emails," or "I'm cleaning my room."
Wow, those are things people already do naturally every day.
Which means your brain receives constant repetition without extra effort.
What if someone feels embarrassed speaking simple English?
That happens because many learners associate complexity with intelligence.
Right. People think advanced English sounds more impressive.
But natural communication values clarity and speed much more than complexity.
Interesting. So, simple English can actually sound more fluent?
Absolutely. Simple English spoken naturally sounds much more fluent than complicated English spoken slowly.
Wow, that is such a big mindset shift.
Yeah, and many learners are trying to impress instead of communicate.
And that creates pressure again.
Yes, because perfectionism blocks spontaneity.
So, how can learners simplify their English naturally?
They should train themselves to express ideas in the clearest and shortest way possible.
Can you show an example?
Instead of saying, "I was wondering if maybe we could," you can simply say, "Can we?"
Wow, that sounds much more natural.
Exactly. Native conversations are usually more direct and emotionally relaxed.
Interesting. And what about emotional expressions?
Instead of saying, "I became extremely frustrated," you can say, "I got really upset."
Wow, that sounds easier to remember too.
Absolutely, because natural spoken English often uses familiar emotional patterns repeatedly.
So the goal is not sounding academic all the time?
Definitely not, because real conversations are emotional, fast, and practical.
Right. And people usually just want smooth communication.
Fluency is the ability to keep the conversation moving naturally.
Amazing. And what should learners do when they panic during conversations?
They should focus on communicating the idea instead of building the perfect sentence.
Wow, that sounds simple but difficult emotionally.
Yes, because learners are often afraid of judgment.
Right. So mistakes are actually necessary.
Absolutely. Mistakes show that your brain is actively trying to create language in real time.
Interesting. That changes the way I see errors.
Errors are signs of progress, not signs of failure.
William, why do some people study English for years and still don't feel fluent?
Because passive learning creates recognition, but active thinking creates real fluency.
What does passive learning mean exactly?
It means consuming English without actively reacting, producing, or thinking in the language.
So watching videos alone is not enough.
Exactly. Your brain also needs output and mental participation.
Wow. I think many learners spend hours only watching content.
And while that helps comprehension, it does not fully train spontaneous communication.
So learners need more interaction with the language.
For sure, the brain becomes fluent through active use and repetition.
And what is one of the best exercises for active thinking?
Narrating your life in English is extremely powerful.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
While walking, cooking, driving, or organizing something, you describe what is happening around you in English.
Can you give more examples?
You can say, "I'm looking for my keys. This line is too long," or "I need to hurry."
So nice. That turns normal life into practice time.
English stops being a classroom activity and becomes part of your daily thinking process.
Interesting. And does this also reduce anxiety?
Yes, because English starts feeling familiar instead of stressful.
Wow. I think many learners only use English in study mode.
For sure. And that creates distance between the learner and the language.
So English should become part of everyday life?
Absolutely, because fluency grows through daily mental contact.
Interesting. And what is the biggest mindset change learners need?
They need to stop asking, "How do I translate this?" and start asking, "How would I naturally express this in English?"
Wow, that changes everything.
Translation focuses on words, while fluency focuses on communication.
And how can someone practice automatic expressions at work?
They can use short professional chunks repeatedly during daily situations.
Like what?
Expressions like, "I'll check that," "Let me confirm," "Sounds good," or "I'll send it today."
Those sound very natural and useful.
Exactly, because professional fluency also depends on repeated communication patterns.
Interesting. And what about social conversations?
Learners should practice quick emotional reactions, like, "Really?" "No way," "That's interesting," or "I totally agree."
Wow, those tiny reactions really make conversations flow better. And what should learners do when they cannot remember a specific word?
They should keep communicating using simpler words, instead of stopping completely.
So they should describe the idea differently?
Yeah, communication flexibility is more important than perfect vocabulary.
Wow, that removes a lot of pressure. And less pressure allows the brain to think faster naturally.
Absolutely.
When does someone become ready?
The truth is that nobody ever feels completely ready,
Wow, that is actually comforting.
because fluency develops during the process, not before the process.
Right, so thinking in English is the path to fluency itself.
Thinking in English is training, not a final reward.
Interesting. And can even beginners practice this?
Absolutely, because basic English repeated consistently can completely reshape the brain over time.
Interesting. And why do daily habits matter so much?
Because the brain learns languages through frequency and emotional familiarity.
So short daily practice is stronger than occasional intense study?
You get it. Consistency teaches the brain that English is part of normal life.
Wow, that makes the process feel much more achievable.
And sustainable habits create long-term confidence naturally.
Interesting. And what should learners remember during difficult days?
They should remember that small progress repeated daily becomes massive progress over time.
Wow, that is motivating, actually.
Absolutely, because each small reaction strengthens the connection between your mind and the language.
Interesting. And what is the most powerful thing learners can start doing today?
They should start reacting to life immediately in English, without waiting for perfect sentences.
Wow, even if the English is basic?
Especially if the English is basic, because simplicity creates speed and confidence first.
Interesting. And that confidence grows naturally over time?
Confidence grows when the brain realizes communication is possible.
Wow, this completely changes the way I see fluency now.
Exactly. And one of the biggest things learners need to stop doing is translating every sentence in their head first.
So, how can learners finally stop translating in their heads?
They need to watch the next video and click on Stop Translating in Your Head to learn how to train your brain to think directly in English naturally. See you there!
Bye!